Thank you so much, Your Excellency. It is truly a privilege and an honor to have you with us today. And you're absolutely right. It really is a moment of limitless possibilities to make sure that we can create thriving communities for all. So thank you for sharing that vision. From predictive planning for real-time mobility solutions and more, AI is transforming the way that our cities breathe, move, and grow. And at the heart of that evolution is Abu Dhabi. And so now we're going to be exploring how advanced frameworks are setting a global benchmark for livability. And so please join me in welcoming to the stage now, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Mohamed Ali Shorafa, the Chairman of the Department of Municipalities and Transport. Very good. Yes, you have yours. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Your Excellency, it is an honor and a pleasure to have you with us today. Now, as cities race to harness the power of AI, Abu Dhabi isn't just keeping pace, it is setting the standard. And so at the heart of this transformation is a bold vision to reimagine urban life through intelligent design, smart mobility, and sustainable innovation. And so to explore how AI is not only powering the city, but reshaping the very way that we live, let's first dive in. And I'd love to ask you about how Abu Dhabi is leveraging its AI-driven vision to redefine the future of urban governance and what role DMT is playing in leading that transformational shift.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me today. Good to see a great turnout. As you know, Abu Dhabi has been investing in AI for quite some time. Not only investing outside of the United Arab Emirates, but we actually own our own IPs as well. So this gives us an advantage and the leverage to develop further our AI platforms. From a DMT point of view and planning and livability, Abu Dhabi have invested time and money a few years ago in trying to gather data across the complete livability spectrum, either from transportation data, congestion, number of people, nationalities, demographics, in all different districts in Abu Dhabi Emirate. Of course, having an AI platform, feeding it with the right data, would definitely give us, from a planning point of view, and managing the city as well, an advantage that we can actually make it much easier for us to plan and for residents and nationals that are living in Abu Dhabi to have a better life and a lovable life in Abu Dhabi. Transportation, for example, it's not only about building new roads, but when can I have and where can I have toll stations, for example? Our traffic lights, are they digitally connected with the live data that we are getting from the Road and Transport Authority in Abu Dhabi or no? All of these adds value in making our life and people's life much easier. How we are expanding Abu Dhabi now as a city. Where are we going to grow? How we are going to expand our natural resources in terms of our natural beaches and islands. All of these data have been driven through AI that can give us faster and much more accurate data so that we can manage the city in a much more easier way.
There is so much coming up, so many developments that we can see there, and hopefully that kind of a development will stop people from stopping at a traffic light every time they get to one as well. But you touch on something really important, because Abu Dhabi is attracting more and more residents. The population is definitely growing. And so how is DMT then ensuring that the city's infrastructure and urban planning set global benchmarks for sustainability and resilience while also meeting those future demands?
See, I think one of the most important things that we started doing in the DMT is creating our digital twin of the city, and having a digital twin that makes us understand exactly how the movements and the developments are all linked together to give a better environment for people that work in Abu Dhabi, that live, that go to school, that go to hospitals. From a safety point of view as well, when you have your own digital twin, having your complete data of buildings and other infrastructure makes it easier for the safety personnel to be as fast as possible whenever there is a crisis happening, there is a fire here or there. So we try to make it much more livable for the people by protecting them using data and attracting as well visitors and people to come and live in Abu Dhabi by creating districts that includes all the components that are required for people and families to live. We're not only talking about hospitals, we're not talking about community centers, we are not talking about sport facilities, we are talking about all of the above and more. And we actually track these data and do a digitized surveys with the people that are living in those districts and identify a score that tells us how this district is actually complete or not, and what do we need to add. And each district is different from each other because the demographics in those districts are different. You will have a district that has probably more skewed to nationals, more skewed to non-nationals, or it's a mixed use. So every district has a different component. From an infrastructure point of view, don't forget that our airport is also part of our infrastructure. How are the touch points from a visitor that's coming into Abu Dhabi until he leaves Abu Dhabi, connected with the tourism, how we connect these touch points together, how we calculate our net promoter score, our NPS from a quality point of view, how can we raise quality of our service as well. It's not as easy, I'm saying it, but we have the right systems in place, we have the right team members in place that try to mitigate any issues and try always to raise the bar. Yes, we do a lot of benchmarks with different international cities, but I think Abu Dhabi is bringing a different paradigm to the quality of living and the livability in Abu Dhabi. Everybody's telling me congestion in Abu Dhabi. What's wrong with traffic? Traffic tells you there's a lot of economic activity that's happening in the city. But from a DMT point of view and a municipality and the urban planning, we have to plan for the future. We cannot look under our feet now. We have to look and anticipate the growth of our demographics and where are going to be our economic interventions. And we all work together as a government because DMT builds for the economic engine which is coming in the future, taking into consideration our different components of tourism, economy, healthcare, education. So it is a cross-cutting function.
You have your work cut out for you. Abu Dhabi is already a focal point of some incredible tourist attractions. You know, when you talk about the biggest concerts in the world, I was here for that. Abu Dhabi GP, I'm here every year for that. Disneyland is coming here. It is all happening here in Abu Dhabi in the most incredible way. And I love that you're thinking about these things and how do we grow with these amazing opportunities that are coming to the city, but also thinking about every day, you know, our safety. You know, these are the things that we worry about every day, not just when we go to an amazing event as well. So there is a lot. It's amazing to see that a spectrum, if you like, of considerations that you're thinking about. But how is Abu Dhabi then advancing smart mobility and integrated transport solutions to lead in sustainable urban transport? And in terms of DMT's strategy as well for transforming mobility in the future?
Well, Abu Dhabi was the first emirate or city in the region to deploy autonomous taxis. And we've been deploying also autonomous buses and testing them for 3 years, even prior to COVID time. But I think with the technology that we have now, that are integrating all our roads and hubs, it's much easier for us now to deploy taxis. Now, for example, you can take an autonomous taxi on Uber platform from Abu Dhabi airport to Yas or Saadiyat. And we have taken a decision that even from our transport sustainability policy, by 2030, all our public buses are going to be electrified. But again, you need to have the right platform. You need to have the right foundation to introduce any new technologies within the autonomous vehicle strategy. Don't forget that all of this is not coming out of the blues, but I think it's also coming from the aspiration of our leadership in Abu Dhabi, of how we are, where they want Abu Dhabi to be, and our job is how to make that happen. The resources are there, policies needs to be changed, which we are changing, and the interaction and collaboration between stakeholders, Abu Dhabi Police, for example, yes, our transport authority, DMT, we're all working together to reach to the goal where our leadership wants. But again, I'm reiterating the foundation of technology, because that platform that makes everything happen. If you don't have the right platform and data available, you won't be able to have sustainable technologies that you can deploy as fast as possible.
You're talking about cutting edge technologies here, and partnership is going to be critical in making sure that the system, the ecosystem is seamless to make this a reality. But coming back to this whole idea where we want to make sure that our smart city transformation remains people-centric, how are AI-driven tools being used to incorporate public engagement into urban planning and decision-making?
I'll give you a very small example. When we looked at the urban plan of Abu Dhabi and what's the next phase of the refresher of urban plan of Abu Dhabi, which will be publicized in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we had to get insights from the people that are living in Abu Dhabi. You can get the top-notch engineers and architects worldwide, urban planners, they can put things on the drawing board, it's beautiful. But if you don't actually get the right data and the requirements firsthand from the people that are living or actually visiting, what would you like to have in your district? We got a lot of beautiful ideas. They wanted to have sport facilities, they want to have more pocket parks. Last year, by end of 2024, we inaugurated over 224 new parks in Abu Dhabi city. This was done only within 12 months. Why? Because we understood what people wanted, and it really made a big change into their livability scores. But understanding, again, the firsthand on what people need is very important. You just not think about what you might need. No, I have to ask you. Obviously, we get also some data from our social service organizations here, because they also do a lot of surveys. So as a government of Abu Dhabi, we try to utilize all the data that are available either through primary or secondary surveys. And we utilize these as well and try to reconfirm them with people on a first-hand basis. We got beautiful ideas from the cycling tracks, for example. Some people asked for a bigger space for community services. So now we decided every district has a community service that includes all the main components of sport facility, healthcare, education, libraries, social services are there, our housing authority as close as possible to the people. But also we try to get data from our partners, from Etisalat, from our payment systems, from our free Wi-Fi's in our parks. So all of these is giving us people's movement. Where do they live? I give you a very simple example. I know the time is, we're ending time.
Don't worry about it.
A very simple example. Now I can identify, why do I have traffic in the morning, in the peak, and in the evening? We know people go at the same time to work, schools, but we found out that a lot of people that live downtown Abu Dhabi have their kids' schools that are outside of Abu Dhabi, and the other way around. Yeah. So what we decided, we worked with the Education Council, and we told them, listen, those demographics, we need to have schools inside Abu Dhabi Island, and those demographics, we need them outside. Very simple, but we wouldn't have come up with this unless I really had data that can actually tell me this is the issue. Trying to find out the root cause using data.
And this is how you listen to your people. You use the AI, you use the data to create cities that really truly embrace them on a holistic level. What an incredible discussion with you, Your Excellency. We're so excited for the vision that you are creating, for the partnerships that are happening as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking His Excellency. Thank you.